What's going on? All thanks for tuning in once again. Let's talk heavyweight boxing. So we got Wilder versus Zhang, in speculation in the June 1st card of um, Baturbia versus Bivol. So that's going to be on the undercard. A lot of rumors, a lot of rumors. We don't know if they are true. But I just wanted to break down that fight, just leave my thoughts on it. Of course, leave yours. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So Wilder, a guy that's 10 title defenses, 5 years heavyweight champion. He really did get tested when he fought, the top guys, Ortiz, Tyson Fury, and now we saw him lose to Parker. So he does really get tested in terms of how good he really is. I know that he does have that right hand. I know that he does have the highest knockout percentage in heavyweight, but it's very hard for him to land it against guys that can box well and move well. So Zhang on the other hand, he's beaten Joyce twice. That's probably his best wins. A lot of people never knew about him until he got those wins. He also gave Herkovic a good fight as well. So two top fighters there. Both guys are medalists, but it looks really shaky second half of the fight. So it's a very interesting one because Wilder's a guy that can, although it is hard for him to find guys that can move, he does tend to find them in the later rounds. Think Tyson Fury, think Ortiz, think I believe, Spolka, he got him out late as well. Some guys, he gets them out later. Ortiz got him a bit earlier the second time, but I was at the round 7 mark. So that's going to be a problem for Zhang because that's when Zhang gets tired, around the round 7 mark. So Zhang's got to really get him out of there before then, because Wilder, that power does, last for the whole fight. So and Wilder's fit as well. He doesn't really get tired unless he's throwing, if he's overthrowing that right hand. So if he can time it, then he definitely has a good chance. I think he's got a better engine than Zhang, and he's also got he's the better athlete, in my opinion. Zhang, on the other hand, he's a more craftier boxer. He's a better mover. He's overall, he's got better power because he's got power on both hands. And he can change it. He can change the fight up. He can change up the angles. He can, hurt you with the right hand and the left hand. He's got two big punches that can put you out. So how's Wilder going to keep him away? That's going to be the question, because Wilder's not really a guy that does move well. Wilder is more of a front foot guy. On the back foot we've seen him, in big trouble, especially against the ropes in the corner. So if Wilder can come forward and circle, we now know that he can have, he can use lateral movement. He was doing that, majority of the fight against Parker. So as long as he's staying away from the ropes, he's got to watch out for the right and left. So he's got to circle both ways. Most importantly, he's got to throw the jab. He can't just wait and throw nothing. Zhang's going to come forward regardless. So he's got to keep him away with the jab. So it's an interesting fight. With heavyweights, it's always interesting when you got power punches. Wilder's a guy that's proven that he can put everyone down, except for Parker. Parker was the only one that hasn't been on the canvas that he fought. So can Wilder land a clean shot? That's going to be the question. and also about when he lands it. You know, Zhang's a guy that's shown that he can take punishment. He may be able to absorb those right hands. You know, Joe Joyce throwing everything at him. You know, he was able to absorb all his punches and give harder punches of his own. So, I mean, his counter punching, you know, is really going to hurt Wilder. Understand Wilder's a light, you know, he's light. So, I mean, if he's going for the body, he's going to break down Wilder. You know, we've seen Tyson Fury drop Wilder multiple times. We've seen him, you know, in the second fight of the trilogy, you know, within, I believe it was round seven, you know. So, I mean, that's what, if Zhang's bringing that sort of pressure, you know, he's got a good chance of putting out Wilder before that round 7 mark. So, I've got to favour Zhang in the fight. I think that Zhang, you know, the pressure that he applies to Wilder, and the, you know, punch selection and things like that, you know, the counter punching ability and, you know, the pressure that he brings in the first half of the fight, I think that's going to be too much for Wilder. You know, Wilder against Parker, I just didn't know what he was trying to do. He couldn't really throw anything at all. So, I mean, I can only base it off the last two, you know, their last performances, and saying, let's face it, you know, knocked down Parker. He almost had him out of there. Wilder hardly threw any punches. So, I mean, based on that, based on what I've seen from them, the activity and all that, I've got to favour Zhang in the fight to win by stoppage, round 6. If it doesn't happen in round 6, I think Wilder will land the right hand and win the fight. So, I mean, I'm going for Zhang in this one, but I won't be surprised if Wilder can pull it off. I do give him a 50% chance of winning because of that right hand that he throws, because it has put out everybody. But on this occasion, I'm going to pick Zhang if the fight goes ahead. I think Wilder may need a tune-up before fighting Zhang, but I mean, it is, you know, end of his career pretty much for both guys. You know, they're both at the end of their careers. So this is definitely the crossroads, you know, who moves forward, who should hang up the gloves. So, I mean, that's my take on it anyway. Leave yours. I look forward to the comments, and I'll definitely do a breakdown of Dubois versus Herkovic as well. But other than that, look forward to the comments. Have a good day. Peace. And I'll catch you next time. Have a good one.